Hello and welcome to this lesson of our SAP ERP beginner course. In this lesson, we'll lay the groundwork for understanding enterprise resource planning ERP and why it's so important for businesses. Have you ever wondered how a giant company like Pepsi manages to mix the syrup, bottle the drinks, ship them worldwide, and keep the finances in order, all without everything falling into chaos? Or how Pepsi always seems to have your favorite soda in stock when you go to the store? These questions get to the heart of what we'll explore today. By the end of this lesson, you'll know what ERP is, why businesses use it, and how ERP helps integrate different processes. All explained in simple terms and illustrated with Pepsi as our real world example. Are you ready to dive in and see how a single system can keep a business running like a well-oiled machine? Let's get started. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. In plain language, an ERP system is software that brings together all the core parts of a business into one unified system. But what does that really mean? Think of a company like Pepsi. Pepsi isn't just about making soda. It has to buy raw materials, sugar, water, packaging, produce beverages in factories, manage inventory in warehouses, ship products to distributors, record sales, pay its employees, and more. In a smaller business, you might handle some of these with separate tools or spreadsheets. However, Pepsi is huge, and if each department used its own separate system that didn't talk to the others, it would be incredibly hard to keep everything coordinated. This is where ERP comes in. An ERP system acts like a central nervous system for the company's operations, integrating areas like sales, production, finance, purchasing, and inventory into one platform. Everyone uses the same system and data, so information flows seamlessly across the organization. For example, have you ever thought about what happens when a store needs more Pepsi stock? When an order for more Pepsi is placed, ERP ensures that the sales department, the warehouse, and the production planners are all on the same page instantly. The sales team records the order, and the ERP system immediately checks if the inventory is available. If the stock is low, the system can signal the production team to brew up more soda, all while the finance department's records are updated with the new order. Pretty cool, right? How do you think having everything in one system might help avoid mix-ups or delays in a big company like Pepsi? It's all about integration, making sure that all the moving parts of a business work together in harmony through one software platform. In essence, ERP is the software backbone that connects all the departments and their processes. Instead of separate, isolated systems for each department, ERP provides one single source of truth. When Pepsi's marketing team forecasts a spike in demand for a new flavor, the production planners and supply chain folks using the ERP system can immediately see that information and adjust their plans. When we say ERP integrates a business, we mean it combines processes and data so that, for instance, the number of syrup barrels in the inventory system is automatically considered when creating a production schedule. No more guessing or manually passing information around. The ERP system handles it behind the scenes. Imagine how much smoother your day would be if all the tools you use at work were connected and updated in real time. That's the power of ERP for companies like Pepsi and many others. So, why would a business invest in a big system like ERP? Why not just use separate software for each department or stick to spreadsheets? The answer lies in the complexity and scale of modern businesses. Large companies like Pepsi have to manage countless products across multiple regions and departments, and they need to respond quickly to changes. If each team works in isolation with its own data, it's easy for things to fall out of sync. Have you ever worked on a team where one group didn't know what the other was doing? In a big organization, that can lead to serious problems. Think duplicate work, data errors, delays, or decisions made on outdated information. For a global business, those issues can be very costly. Companies use ERP because it helps break down silos between departments by creating one unified system. For instance, PepsiCo's products are sold in over 200 countries and territories around the world. Planning and operating at that scale is a massive challenge. Pepsi needs a way to coordinate activities across different countries and business units seamlessly. An ERP system provides exactly that. It ensures that when the sales team at Pepsi makes a big sale or launches a promotion, the supply chain and production teams know about it immediately and can react. For example, by ramping up production or distribution. Likewise, the finance team gets the numbers in real time, so they're not waiting until month end to see how sales are going. Think about the benefits of everyone being on the same page. With ERP, information is shared instantly and consistently. This leads to fewer surprises. What if an unexpected event happens? Say, a sudden shortage of an ingredient or a surge in orders for Pepsi during a heat wave. Without ERP, it might take a while for all the teams to catch on and coordinate a response. With ERP, as soon as, for example, inventory runs low or orders spike, all relevant departments see it in the system. They can collaborate quickly to adapt, maybe sourcing more ingredients, expediting a production batch, or prioritizing certain shipments. In short, businesses use ERP to achieve better accuracy, visibility, and efficiency in their operations. It replaces a tangle of isolated tools and error-prone spreadsheets with a robust system where many users can work together at once. Imagine how much easier your job would be if you never had to enter the same data twice in two different systems, or if you could trust that the figures your colleague gave you are up to the minute and consistent with what you see. ERP makes that possible. How much easier would planning and operating be if everyone in the company was working off the same real-time data? By using ERP, companies like Pepsi aim to reduce waste. For example, avoid making too much of a product that isn't selling, prevent shortages of products that are selling, and streamline their processes across the board. It's all about running the business smarter, faster, and in a more connected way, which is practically a necessity in today's fast-paced market. To really understand ERP's role, let's look at a simplified scenario of how Pepsi might use an ERP system to integrate its processes. Picture this. A large supermarket chain places an order for 1,000 cases of Pepsi. This is a big order. The moment the Pepsi sales department enters that order into the SAP ERP system, several things happen automatically, almost like dominoes falling in perfect sequence. First, the inventory levels for that specific Pepsi product are checked in the system. The ERP system might say, okay, the warehouse in New Jersey has 800 cases on hand and the warehouse in Atlanta has 300 cases. Since the order total is 1,000 cases, Pepsi can fulfill the order by shipping from both locations. The ERP system will allocate 800 cases from New Jersey and 200 from Atlanta to meet the demand. Now, as soon as it allocates that stock, the system updates the inventory records in real time. Everyone from warehouse managers to finance can see that those 1000 cases are committed to an order. Next, the warehouse teams at those plants get a notification through the ERP that they need to prepare a shipment. They generate a delivery note and schedule pickup with the logistics team. The ERP system helps create all the needed paperwork, packing lists, shipping labels, and so on, and schedules, ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks. Meanwhile, because 1000 cases are leaving the inventory, the production planning module of the ERP might kick in. It sees that after this order, the New Jersey warehouse's stock will drop below a threshold. The system can automatically create a production order to brew and bottle, say, another 1000 cases of Pepsi to replenish the stock. This production order goes to the manufacturing team at the New Jersey plant so they know they need to produce more to refill the warehouse. At the same time, if more raw materials like sugar or corn syrup are required to make that batch, the purchasing department gets an alert or an automatic purchase requisition through the ERP system to buy more ingredients. Notice how one sales order in Pepsi's ERP cascades through sales, inventory, production, and procurement all at once. And we're not done yet. Once the product ships out to the supermarket chain, the ERP system will also handle billing. It generates an invoice to send to the customer and records the revenue in Pepsi's financial accounts under the correct company code. So the finance team doesn't have to manually enter the sale. It's recorded automatically with all the correct details. They can later see the profits from that order, which warehouse it came from, which customer it went to. All of that info is linked together in the ERP. Now consider how seamless that process was with ERP. What would happen if those steps weren't integrated? The sales team might have to call or email the warehouse to ask about stock, then separately contact production to schedule more soda to be made, then follow up with finance to record the sale. That would be slow and prone to errors. Someone might forget to tell production, or the warehouse might miscount inventory. With ERP, each department's action is connected. It's like a relay race where each runner hands off the baton instantly and flawlessly to the next runner because they're all on the same team using the same playbook. How do you think this level of integration impacts Pepsi's ability to serve its customers? It means orders are fulfilled faster and more accurately, and Pepsi can trust that its data is correct at every step. To put it simply, ERP takes what would be a complex web of communications and handoffs and turns it into a smooth automated flow. Everyone sees the same real-time picture of the business. Managers can even watch this flow on dashboards. They could see that the order was received, is being prepared for shipment from New Jersey and Atlanta, that production orders are scheduled to replenish stock, and that an invoice was sent, all in one system. This holistic visibility allows Pepsi to make better decisions. For example, if orders are consistently coming in large from the Northeast region, Pepsi might decide, with the help of ERP reports, to increase the safety stock in the New Jersey warehouse or schedule more frequent production runs there. To put it simply, ERP takes what would be a complex web of communications and handoffs and turns it into a smooth automated flow. Everyone sees the same real-time picture of the business. Managers can even watch this flow on dashboards. They could see that the order was received, is being prepared for shipment from New Jersey and Atlanta, that production orders are scheduled to replenish stock, and that an invoice was sent, all in one system. This holistic visibility allows Pepsi to make better decisions. For example, if orders are consistently coming in large from the Northeast region, Pepsi might decide, with the help of ERP reports, to increase the safety stock in the New Jersey warehouse or schedule more frequent production runs there. By integrating processes, ERP helps companies respond quickly and stay efficient. It's not magic, it's good system design and data management. But for the people using it, it can feel a bit like magic when everything just works. Let me ask you a reflective question. Think about your own experience as a customer or an employee. Can you recall a time when information fell through the cracks because systems weren't connected? How frustrating was that? ERP exists to eliminate those frustrations by keeping everything in sync. Enterprise resource planning is all about integration and centralization. We learned that ERP is a software that unites all the key functions of a business into one system. We saw why businesses, especially big ones like Pepsi, rely on ERP to operate smoothly, and we walked through an example of how ERP coordinates multiple processes in real time. In short, ERP is the digital backbone of modern businesses. Now that you know what ERP is and what it does, you're well on your way to understanding how companies run their operations efficiently. In the next lessons, we'll dive deeper into SAP ERP specifically and see how it works behind the scenes to make scenarios like our Pepsi example possible. Great job on completing this lesson. Let's continue our journey.